Things off. What's going on?
Yeah, man. So I've been doing the new job as well, which is teaching pickleball.
You
Uh,
got it. I didn't know you landed that. You were just kind of
yeah,
talking about it.
yeah. This is my first week. So I was training. Did it 2 days ago, and then I did it today, and then did a photo shoot today as well for Valley Mentality.
Bro, that's so clutch as a day job,
Oh my gosh.
like teaching pickleball. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So I still got to get certified to do actual individual classes, but that's it. Yeah, I'm hyped. Bro, I got a Lifetime movie. Another Lifetime movie.
No way, bro. That's huge.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we'll see. It's the biggest part I've had. It's the lead in this.
Bro, that's
Something.
crazy. Can you tell
Thanks.
us about the film?
No, signed
Under
a NDA that I got to wipe my ass with. Just kidding, obviously. No, no. As if, as if it's something that hasn't been done a million times. Uh, no, yeah. It's a thriller. I play the villain, and it's about a family that moves to a house, and I'm the previous homeowner, and I'm obsessed with the woman that moves into it.
Dude, that's a great plot. And also, I love like after Red Dress, it's like, come on.
That's
That's
honestly crossed my mind. It's that type of thing the whole time. Like, it's funny, I read the script, and my parents are already trying to like analyze with me how to play the first scene, and they're like, "Well, play it earnest, don't play it like this way." I'm just like, dude, I don't need to worry about how to play. It's so obvious the psychology of like what's been going on. You find out at the end that this guy has been studying these people the whole time, and when he first meets them in person, he already knows everything about them.
Mhm.
And so he's trying to, what would you do if you're trying to compensate for that? You're trying to be overly nice, like, and the jig is up. So he's really just trying to be his best liar.
Mhm.
And that's how I'm gonna play it. But it's not anything I think I have to invent as an actor. I mean, you have to have some stuff in the back pocket. But for me, it's just like try to do that justice, the reality of that, which is not the easiest. So yeah.
Bro, this is huge. You realize most people don't even get to this stage of like Lifetime films starring in a Lifetime movie. That's a big deal.
I agree. It's true. Like it's not like I'm not acting.
Yeah. How many days of shooting? And when do you start?
So start January 28th.
Oh,
Shoots in
it's
LA. It's the same director that I've done the other two movies with. Very kind. He shoots it like a soap opera, like a scene every 10 minutes. Not really
you have to
exaggerating.
audition or are you offer
Nope.
only at this point?
No. No. Well,
Offer only. Got you. That's what
well,
your reps say.
the director knows like it's so easy. He just if you've proven that you can work with him, he's down because like he works really fast and you can't flinch with the lines is the biggest thing.
Mhm.
And so yeah, dude,
Have you played a role like this for him before, or did he just kind of see this in you and he was like, let me kind of angle this a little bit?
well, the answer is no. I haven't really played like a villain, but with this, most of the movie, eh, I wouldn't say most actually, but like a lot of it, I'm being really earnest and playing the character that's similar to other movies that I've done with him. But then the second half, I definitely no, he's taking a chance on it. I mean, but I think he knows that I could bring the reality to something, whatever it is. So same thing, and it's just gonna be a different color for me, which is awesome.
That's the ideal situation is you're in the pocket of a director like that who's just making stuff. He's constantly making stuff.
Yeah.
Good for him too. Like same thing goes where it's a lot of people don't make it to that point where they're consistently making like Lifetime movies or not. He's making features, narrative features, and a lot of directors don't get to that spot. So
It's a good point, man. He's cranking them out. Like he makes these movies.
there was one actress, I forget her name, but um innovative artist at agency that I worked at when I first moved to LA, my first job, and everyone called her the Hallmark Queen.
Mention that.
and she,
Autumn knows.
yeah, Lucy what? Lacey Chabert.
Oh yeah, of course I know her. My mom was like friends with her.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
If it's, I don't know if that's the person, but I mean, bro, she was making bank. Like the amount of films that she was making and how Hallmark just trusted her. And same, it sounds like it's the same deal with this director, where he, Lifetime has a really good relationship with him, and he's just making films that they like, and he's, continuing to crank them out.
I think so. And like I've met some of these guys on the set that are like writers with him and stuff, and they like write a ton of movies for Lifetime and Hallmark and stuff too. I mean, there's definitely a bit of a system. They know what
It is
they
a system for sure. And
yeah.
I mean, that's the end game, bro. Like whether it goes for genre stuff, like horror stuff, whatever. I mean, I saw what is his name? The guy who directed Truth or Dare has a really Jeff something. He has a really long-standing relationship with Blum and Blumhouse, and he's done a lot of stuff with them. And it's like once you get in the pocket, whether it's a production company or studio or whatever, and like you're consistently making good stuff, he's been the most Jeff Wadlow. He has made, I mean, bro, Truth or Dare, Fantasy Island, Imaginary. So he's cranking them out. It's like those relationships are huge. If you're able to deliver, that's all people care about.
Yeah, I mean it's funny, dude. It reminds me of when I was probably 17. I remember being at like Malibu Yogurt and getting to talk with like on a summer night, and I just started talking with this like nice couple that was probably in their probably 45, and the woman was just super like sophisticated and interesting, and then her husband but like seemed like very smart, and then the husband was like kind of nerdy, but I was surprised to hear he was an actor. And I was like, oh, you do anything? And he's like, yeah, I'm in this like TV show on Sci-Fi Channel right now, back when that was like kind of more up and coming.
Mhm.
And he's like, yeah, it's corny, but at least I'm happy to be working and stuff.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what I want to do, I just remember looking at that and just being like, thinking like, yeah, but like this guy's like a working actor. Like, what a fun lifestyle. Like, he's just at Malibu Yogurt on a Sunday night. Like, got a cool girl. Like, I could vibe with that. Um, what I didn't give weight to was that I'm sure there's a reason why he's like, yeah, it's ultimately not what I want to do. Like, grass is always green on the other side. But I guess it is an opportunity for me to take stock and just be like, well, I'm
And that's the
definitely
crazy thing, right? Like we talk about all the time about putting ourselves in that headspace of where we were at, like even
yeah,
2, 3 years ago.
yeah,
And like if that version of yourself could see the shit you're doing now, you'd have a completely different perspective. It's crazy how quick your new normal becomes normal. And
yeah.
like as soon as you get that first studio film,
Oh yeah.
bro, you're gonna be like, yeah, like can't wait to get a Golden Globe. And then you get the Golden Globe, and you're like, well, it's not an Oscar. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? Like but that's everyone. That's how the human brain works. You're always looking to level up and get that next thing. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm no different, bro. I've been talking to this guy, Jonah Feingold. He's significantly like a real sizable, like 2 steps ahead of me as far as being a filmmaker. He's had this, and I'm look, I'll blast it out.
Wait,
It's
are you wearing a Cartier wristband right now? Is that what that is?
Cartier. I got this in Greece.
Oh, excuse me. I thought it was one of those like trendy ass.
Cartier.
Autumn would know what that
It's
is, right?
probably
I'm laughing so hard right now.
I got this probably like $20 in Mykonos.
Thought Jacob just casually had the product placement, the Cartier wristband.
Cartier. Yeah, it's not me. It's
You might
not the
need one now. You might need one now.
Yeah, bro. Look, as soon as I close that first feature, you're gonna see me with my whole thing covered.
Gonna spend it all on the wristband.
It's all gonna be on that. Not a
Like,
house, not anything.
oh, it's
Just
like $20,000, I think.
oh, for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
I've got like a day job. I'm like, yeah, bro. Dude, I've been taking this class. It's called Follow Up Film School. Um, and this guy's his name's Jonah Feingold, and he's made like 3 features. And the first one, he had like a lot of investors, but it was completely indie. So he's going over his whole process of how he put that thing together. His his other 2 films were like director for hire type deals where he had the reps and all that stuff, but all that was kickstarted because he was able to get this indie feature off the ground, which is something that I've been trying to do for forever. But he's actually, he's going through the motions of like step A leads to B leads to C. And it's making it feel like a real, realistic type thing as far as how to go about it, how to approach it. A lot of it is kind of the mentality behind it of,
Where's he at now? That's like where you want to go to.
so I mean, he's got reps. He has 3 features that he's completed, and they're like streaming on like Paramount and Paramount Plus, and like a couple others. And so that's a very sizable jump up from where I'm at now. And it's great, man. I mean, I feel like a lot of this info is kind of um he's being very transparent, and a lot of this is kind of kept under wraps as far as like how do you, like, to me there was always this huge gap between where I'm at as like complete in, like I'm on YouTube making shorts, like I'm trying to make things happen, I'm writing scripts.
Made a feature though.
Yeah, I know. But it's probably not going to see the light of day. And that was like a director for hire thing too. So this, I mean, this is a different type situation. This is like you're in the driver's seat, you're getting the money, you're getting it funded, you're
Producing.
getting seeing it through post.
That's more. That's more than direction. That's producing. Yeah.
It is producing. Yeah, yeah. It's essentially producing what he's talking about. But he feels like you have to be, if you want to be a director and you don't come from like this huge pedigree lineage, Cartier wristbands to the nines, then you gotta take it on yourself, and you gotta be an entrepreneur, and you gotta make it happen. So it's kind of like one and the same.
Totally. Yeah. There's trade-offs. I guess I'm just trying to poke holes at you feeling like you're far from certain levels. Yeah.
Poke holes.
Like,
Uh,
yeah, just kind of recognize that you are I, I feel like you are at a certain level that maybe is higher than what you might.
I appreciate that, bro. And the thing is, the line is so thin. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The tipping point, it's like that. And so it's a matter of having the right mentality. It's a matter of being in the driver's seat of the thing, having the right project. Um, And you know what, bro? The biggest challenge, the hardest thing in the world is writing. And the biggest challenge is coming up with something that you can shoot for like 200K, and it can be compelling and it can look like a $2 million film, which you're absolutely able to do. But it's a challenge, It's like a story thing. And then it's about when you're reaching out to people, the ratio is like 1 out of 20 are going to say yes. So if you think about it, if you're raising funds for like a $200,000 movie, and each one of your investors is giving like 10K, then you need 20 investors, right? But if the ratio is 1 out of 20, then that's going to be what? I'm bad at math. You know what? Here's something easier. If you got 10 investors and you need like $100,000 film, correct me if I'm wrong, but 1 out of 20, then you're going to go through like 180 rejections by the time it comes to closing those funds. So like I know the whole process. My biggest holdup has been making the ask. So I know the entire process of creating the LLC and creating the business and getting production insurance and all this kind of like nitty gritty shit that filmmakers don't like to deal with. I get all that stuff and I know the whole process. But the only block that I've had is getting through those 180 rejections to get to the finish. That's it.
Okay. What? All right. What feature are you trying to raise money for?
I'm writing something, but you know what? I can't give specifics only because uh Bro, I'm so stoked about this idea. I think it's really, really strong, but I got to finish the first draft and I got to get it copywritten before I put it out there. That's it.
Now that just bared my soul with the Lifetime movie. You're gonna
Yeah, right.
Lifetime murder mystery.
By the way, you're shooting like fast. When did you hear about it?
2 days ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah, maybe someone dropped out or something. I don't ask too many questions.
Oh, yeah. You can't play that game.
The like rational, like just trying to understand
Bro,
what in game.
dude, Leo DiCaprio wasn't the first choice for Titanic.
I was, and I passed on
Yeah. How old were you? Like two?
one. Yeah. Anyway, no, I'm dude, who knows what goes on with this type of thing, but yeah, he has a system in place. I like it. I like it. How look, don't keep us guessing for too long. Tell us, how are the kids? How are the children that you're teaching?
It's good, bro. There's been a huge turnaround in like a week. Uh, a lot of these kids come from like kind of tough backgrounds, but as I'm like, I've gotten to the place where I've got this intro to film class, and it's all these kids who've never seen a camera, and now I can sit back and they're like calling the shots, and it's the first assistant director, and he's like, "All right, quiet on set, roll sound, roll camera," and they're like doing a whole scene, and I'm like, "This is great."
Seeing it unfold.
Yeah. It's great, man. For me, I mean, I see it with you with the pickleball stuff. For me, this is ideal day job. As I'm still on the path, I'm still pursuing the dream. This is the ultimate thing.
So what is the general upbringing that kids have in Wrightwood? Like, are they from the little town of Wrightwood? Or are they bust in from other places?
So I'm a little far out. I've got like a 40-minute drive there. I mean, it's mostly around, it's like the high desert area. So Hesperia, Apple Valley, and um there's one other, but it's like the high desert.
So you live in Wrightwood,
Right.
and you just chose that because it's a nice little spot, but you're actually commuting to go to another town way out there, and that town where the school is happens to be in the high desert, which is like I've heard of Apple Valley, which is like way out there.
Yeah.
It's all so the school is kind of like in a hub around all those places.
Yeah. The school is in Hesperia,
Okay, Xperia.
which
Is
is
it
next door to Apple Valley. And like Victorville is another one.
Victorville?
Yeah.
It's way out there.
Yeah. Well, I
Wow.
think like so Wrightwood to LA is about an hour and a half. And I think from there to LA is like an hour 40.
Okay. And Victorville and those towns, those are like desert stick towns.
Total desert.
So what's the vibe like in Hesperia?
Desert. It's weird. Like what do you mean by vibe? Because I'm coming down. The trippiest thing is I'm here on Wrightwood, and it's the elevation is like crazy. So I'm going down, and as soon as you start going down the hill, like it can be snowing here, and then you're in straight desert like that.
In so desert, it's not snowing.
Mm-mm.
So you're a storyteller. You analyze the world around you. What is Hesperia like as a town compared to Wrightwood, compared to LA? You know, paint the picture for me. What's it been like for you to check out this? Have you gotten to know the new town?
I don't really know the town that well. Uh, a
You
part
get
of
a lay of the land.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I'm seeing like tumbleweeds. I've never seen that in my life.
Okay.
Uh, there's just not much out there. I mean, you get like Chipotle and Walmart and stuff. It's like that kind of, there's some like commercial stuff out there, but like there's not much.
So what do the kids' parents do and stuff that's out there? What type of economic situation are they in?
I mean, it's not as good as Los Angeles. It's you know,
And have
like
you gotten to talk to them about that, or like what's that been like?
I mean, I don't. I don't really dig into like their economics or like their family's economics, but I mean, you kind of get a sense that there's some rough backgrounds. There's some tough. And again, like I'm also inferring too. Like I haven't asked specifics, but I think the great thing about this school is that we're exposing a lot of these kids to arts and film and a lot of this stuff. Like there's like dance, like all this stuff that they
You're
would.
like Hillary Swank in Freedom Writers,
I've never seen it.
one of the great films of 2002.
Hilary
Uh,
Swank was big in 2002.
oh, I don't know. I'm kidding. uh, she had to like inspire this group of kids in the ghetto to find some creative passion, and that got them out of their poverty.
I'll check it out. Bro, Million Dollar Baby is like one of my all-time favorite movies. You seen it?
Sorry to hear it. Hillary Swank is the boxer.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. It's great. That being said, I just want to sorry to harp on this too much. I've always been fascinated by different places and how they relate to each other.
Come
And
out sometime, bro.
I wouldn't go that far. My theory is that when you get to the underbelly of any place, it's kind of fun to see the little slice of life. What does it look like to be a successful person in this place? What is the vibe like? So I've driven through Victorville before,
Mhm.
back from Vegas,
Yeah.
and you hit Barstow, then an hour later you hit Victorville, and I hear people live there and stuff. So all I've seen off the freeways, like you've said, strip malls and In-N-Out Burger,
Mhm.
little roads where there's tumbleweeds, but I assume there's towns where there or like little subsections where there's like community and stuff. And so I'm just curious.
Yeah, I haven't dug that much because I basically come from here and I just head straight to the school and I come back and the whole trail is just straight desert. Like there's nothing in my commute. But I mean, dude, I can tell you about the vibe here. Like a big part of the reason why we're here is this. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, it.
Told me it's the mom and pop shops, the one
That's the thing, man. It's like small mountainy town type thing. There's like the population is so small, everyone knows each other.
so
Like
why didn't you guys choose to live in the town where the school is?
well, my cousins are out here. That's one. They're like a 2-minute walk away, which is nice. But also, I mean, I shot a short out here. It's called The Room Upstairs, one of my favorites. And I mean, you know what, man? It reminds me a lot of where I grew up in Watertown, New York, like upstate New York, close to Canada. It's that kind of feel. Like it's like you get the snow, you get the people like how are you like it's so different from Los Angeles. It's crazy. Like people are actually, they all know each other. Like I just like it.
It's a slower pace of life. They got time on their hands. They can actually talk. That being said, I'm more curious about how things are in your little schools town and Victorville and whatnot.
Well, I have to do a little digging. I'll have to do a little
I hear like even in Palm Springs and stuff, if you're from there, there's a lot of meth.
really.
Yeah, it's a lot of just like kids that have time on their hands that are just getting into like some
Well,
mischief.
that's it's very Breaking Bad, right? Where did they
Yeah,
shoot
exactly.
that? They
Yeah,
probably shot that in the high desert, right?
New Mexico, yeah,
New
but
Mexico.
that is high desert in areas for sure.
Yeah.
That being said, anyway, sore subject. Didn't mean to bring it up.
What's I wish I could tell you more. I mean, I've only been teaching for what, like a couple weeks, and I haven't like dug into the town at all.
I don't blame you, but yeah, you should get to know where you're spending time. It's an opportunity to see a different walk of life. You may end up making a movie about the
Bro,
place.
that's the thing too. I mean, even location wise, like there, and we talked about this a couple weeks back, but There's something about being in this different setting. Like at least in Wrightwood, this is super misery feel,
Right.
and also being out there too. It's like you get like being in one place for too long, you kind of get stuck with some ideas. So I'm getting more inspired about like this thing that I'm writing now. It's going to take place in like a mountain type town just because I'm here. And I never would have come up with something like that if I wasn't here.
Totally. But like just like you said, we've seen misery, we've seen that stuff. What if you did do something on the desert rat town of
Totally.
Espanola, Esperanza, whatever the town's called? Or some, I mean, what does a horror story seem like there? That's not, that's different.
It is different.
That's the opportunity
Yeah.
you have.
100%. You know what? That's
What's a,
what
what's a horror story at a school look like? Get into
that's the thing, bro. Yeah.
your imagination go. Yeah.
It's just like M. Night Shyamalan. He has always been just outside of Philadelphia and he says all of his films feel different because he's not living in LA like all other filmmakers. He's there and and you can see it in his films. A lot of them are based in that area, like just a little, like in the suburbs, kind of just a little outside Philly. And yeah, dude, I think there's something to be said for that.
There is. I mean, my dad always said that. One of the best filmmakers is Cameron Crowe. He's done some bad movies, but he made
Jerry
Jerry Maguire
Maguire. Yeah.
Almost Famous,
Haven't
which
seen it.
is a movie about a band in the 70s. And that was, at the tail end of rock and roll. It's the only, it was Academy Award nominated, made the careers of a few different actors, Kate Hudson being one of them. And
Aloha,
no,
brother.
that was you thought it was good. Okay. I know that's a good point. Yeah, he's made some duds, strangely. But Almost Famous is one of the movies that made me understand why someone would want to be a hippie, or a groupie, even. Kate Hudson's character was a groupie, and she brought like pride to it and said, we love the music,
Mhm.
and we knew we need to like harbor and help people that are making this great music, and that's why they were groupie. Like it was all just it really romanticized rock and roll and made some really funny notes about it, and it was self-deprecating and really good. And Jerry Maguire is human and funny, and then he also wrote Fast Times at Richmond High as well, which is like iconic movie about high school. To write that, he went undercover to a high school when he was 23 and re-enrolled.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And Almost Famous is semi-autobiographical. Him as a kid traveling around as a writer with the Allman Brothers Band, with Leonard Skinner, a lot of these bands, and then and Jerry Maguire. I would love to know more about the background on that, and I've been able to find it out. But
Well,
my
yeah, I
point
mean,
is
in order to write Jerry Maguire, he had to really know agencies and how they operated.
sports agencies specifically,
Sports, yeah.
and it's such a specific world that you got to get right,
Hmm.
and he captured the
The one other show that, not to like get off Cameron Crowe, but the one other show that reminds me of that is Entourage. The people who
totally.
created Entourage, I know Mark Wahlberg was involved, but they had such an intricate understanding of how Hollywood agencies operate.
Yeah,
Like
like
everything that was said, even just me being an assistant for a few years, like everything is spot on. It's crazy.
you and I have talked about it, I think, and like it's something that nowadays Entourage is made fun of a little bit, but it honestly they did such a good job, successful job, and people loved it when it was out at like unveiling this industry that is really closed off to most people, and seeing what these prestigious agencies are like and what it really is like, the ins and outs of being a movie star in a I think at this point an undouchey way, and captured really the corniness and the humor and what it's like. The character Johnny Drama is like made fun of in the show, but in reality he works more than most actors and
He
actually
do- He
People
does.
love him.
Yeah.
People love him in the show. Like he's like LA's like most loved guy, yet because he's in a business that's a shitty business.
Yep.
And I think the show is self-aware about this.
Yeah.
It's a shitty business, and it's what have you done for me lately? He's made fun of next to the movie star.
Hmm.
But in that there's a reason though why Kevin Dillon won a lot of awards, I think, and stuff, and so did Jeremy Piven. But anyway, yeah, dude, writing about stuff that I know that was Doug Ellen, who my dad's friends with, that created that
Wow.
show.
Wow.
And he's just been around the film business and he based it on real people. Uh yeah. And what other great movies are based off real stuff? Breaking Away, which is about, it made Dennis Quaid's career, and it was about University of Indiana and the local kids compared to the college kids that come in and their dynamic and how they deal with it. It's one of my favorite movies, and it's charming. And
Yo, Dennis Quaid is in this crazy horror movie called The Intruder. Have you heard of it?
I don't think so.
It's just psycho Dennis Quaid. Like this couple moves into this home that he loved. It was his like he was a previous owner and he just starts like mowing
Yeah.
the lawn.
Shit. That's the plot of my freaking Lifetime movie.
Bro, no way.
I gotta watch it.
That's the plot?
I mean, essentially, I'm not mowing the
That's
lawn, but
amazing.
I'm overcompensating by hanging around.
Wait. You were the previous owner? That's your character?
Yeah.
Bro, that's the intruder.
Yeah.
Full circle. That's crazy.
I'm so glad you brought it up. I'm gonna write it down.
Bro, you gotta watch this movie. That's wild. Just seeing you see full psycho Dennis Quaid. It's a great flick.
That's so fun. Well, maybe that'll be like me. I want to play it super earnest at first though. But yeah.
Did the Lifetime director also write it?
The Intruder? Yes, he did. Did he write it? Yeah. He writes them.
Dude, you gotta ask him about the intruder.
Might be a sore subject. You know what? He's a friend. He might have literally thought like he might have seen The Intruder recently and been like, we need to like reboot that, reimagine it, and Duke could be the next Dennis Quaid, so I'm gonna help him out.
Hey, I see it. A lot of people don't know that that film. And also, I think it's interesting reframing it as someone your age. That's a huge difference, you know? It's not like a 60-year-old just like,
Well, he's gonna like redo some of the lines to make it younger for me.
how old are you supposed to be?
I mean, the character is like in project management and would do commercial sites, and then now is like flipping homes. So it sounds like 36, 37.
And how long is the shoot? You might have told me. I know you're starting in like a week, but how long is the schedule?
4 days.
4 days for a film and you're starring in it.
Yep.
No way. Is that how quick these Lifetime films usually shoot?
It's usually like over the course of 2 weeks. This one's, I think it's 5 days full shoot.
Bro, I have never heard of a shoot that quick ever. Like even the lowest budget is like 15 days. That's like 100K picture. I've never heard of 5 days.
Yeah, this guy just like mows through.
That's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be an
I
experience.
know. It's gonna be an experience, exactly.
I want to hear all about it. I guess we'll
Yeah.
have to wait, what, like a couple weeks to talk about it. But bro, that's crazy. That's huge.
No, we won't. You're saying from today?
Yeah, you start what? The 26th?
28th, so 10 days.
Yeah. Do you got a lot of lines? Are you memorizing now?
Yeah. I memorized the first full length sequence yesterday. It's like it ends up being like 3 scenes, but it's like from the time that you meet my character to like where it cuts and goes back to something else, and so many lines.
Are you a quick memorizer? And how do you tackle that? Because what's his face? Robert Downey Jr. has this system where, and I tried this when I was still acting and I was like, and was not great at memorizing stuff. He like gets so good at it to where he writes down the first letter of every line and he just has the first letter in front of him. And if he's able to like go through the entire thing, then memorize, like that's how he does it. So he starts to strip it away like that.
That's interesting. And give himself like little training wheels on each line almost. Or little reminders. Yeah, for me, I mean, I've never done like a feature film, I guess, where I was the lead. So with this, honestly, I think what I'm gonna do is peripherally memorize scene by scene all the way through first. Kind of like check off the shot list, like, hey, I'm in these scenes, make sure I get everyone, check them off. Then as it gets closer, as I get a shooting schedule, obviously I'll start memorizing the scenes that like I'm closer to shooting first. And then that's it.
Yeah.
And as far as like memorizing, it's a combo of like just by myself, like sit back, go through it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And then I'll work on it with my dad and my mom too.
How many other characters?
It's a pretty intimate movie, but like probably 8, 9 characters overall.
Dude, this is a big deal.
It is. It is a big deal. I mean,
That's
people are gonna see it. Like, I can't suck. We're going.
yeah, bro, just stay in this circumstance and you'll be good to go. It's like,
Exactly. That's a good reminder. Um, that is it. And honestly, the bigger the part is for me, like I've got, you're just gonna spend so much time with it that like
yeah.
you're gonna find the moments and really just like care about the circumstances, get into the world and make it as good as it possibly could be. Bring the psychology to life. I mean, there's a lot to unpack in each moment,
Mm-hmm.
and to make it feel like the real thing is
Mm-hmm.
my North Star. Like it's got to feel like it's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, like it's gonna be intense. Yeah.
It'll be intense, but also it's way easier than having the one line that you can't fuck up. Like I've heard horror stories where Jack Nicholson is delivering like an entire 5-page monologue, and the camera turns to this one fucker who like he's on set, he has one line and he
Yeah.
just flubs it up. Like that kind of pressure is a different thing. You're
It,
in the driver's seat. Like you got this. You know what I mean?
oh, 100%. No, it's good intense.
Yeah.
It's good. It's just like it's exciting. So
My favorite part is that this is the type of role you're doing because since we did that short, it's like I
dang.
think I think this is home, bro. This is home. Like
Good.
obviously you want to be able to do different colors and like range and like you're an actor, like that's what you want to do. But um bro,
No, it's
I think you're gonna crush it.
down this like gritty, like let's see what I can do with this psychopath. Yeah.
I'm stoked for you, bro. Big news.
Thanks. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Keep me posted. Good luck memorizing all that shit.
I appreciate it, man. I got it. I know I'm gonna start now again.
Good
All
stuff.
right, boy. Great stuff. Talk soon.
Yeah. See you next week. Bye.